Hi, it's Sue Wilson. I have a steampunk card for you. It's a Christmas one, but it's really quite elegant. I just love the way this comes out. We've got one of our masks that we're going to be doing something fun with too. I'll show you what we're going to be using in today's video. We have the Ransom Xmas, that's our sentiment. We're going to have a little bit of a floral element from the Industrial Chic Poinsettia. And we're going to be doing some accessorizing with the holly as well. And I want to share with you one of Lisa Horton's new stencils. This is called Steampunk Gears. So this one is what we're going to start with. I've got a piece of coconut white card, and I'm going to tape all the way around it with some removable tape. So I want to pull off some long pieces, catch the edge, and I like to do opposite sides. It gives you a nice clean margin if you use tape all the way around. Plus, I think it just holds the card down better. There we go. And the last side. Okay. That looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is use Glitter Kiss through the mask. Now this is the Frosty Sparkle Glitter Kiss. It's a lovely, basically white, clearish, with a very, very soft sort of sparkle to it. I think it's really quite pretty. Pop out the applicator. And we're going to work quickly because we want to get it through the mask. And because it's a wet product, you don't want to dawdle too long because your paper will start to move around a little bit. So I'm just going to start by going through the middle, try and get all the sections, picking up a little bit at a time. There we go, just applying it. And I'm going in a circular motion just because there's a lot of detail in this, and I don't think I'm going to have time to go from side to side all the way around 4 times. So we're going to see if we can get a really lovely image by applying some this direction, just sort of leaving it in all the areas. There we go. It's a very, very soft look. So you'll have a tonal look. It won't be very in your face, but you can see the beautiful pattern that comes out. There we go. A bit more there. And I'm just going back to the container and picking up a little bit extra every second or so, because you don't want to have a huge amount deposited at any time. There we go. Up into this corner. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I think I've gotten all the sections, but we can always check it. Pop this down. Let's take the tape off. Let's go with this one first. There we go. Pop that down. Opposite sides. Hold that into place. I'm going to go this side and just hold that mask down. Let's see how that looks. There we go. You can see you've got a gorgeous detail coming through that. I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the mask. And then I've got some water here. I'm just going to pop it in the water so that the glitter kiss won't dry on that mask while we're working. But you definitely need to clean that afterwards. So now I can set this aside to dry. It doesn't take terribly long, but I do have one that I've done earlier. There you go. You can see that. It's really, really pretty. So we're going to use that as our base next. The other thing I am going to show you is I've created a little piece of red glitter kiss card. Now I'll just show you what we've done there. So I'm going to bring in the fire red and just pick up a little bit on our applicator. I'm going to put a little bit down first, going one direction, depending on how much area you need to coat for your die cut. I'm going to give that just a second. We're going to even do a little bit of wafting. You want it to dry a tiny bit, maybe give it a minute or two when you're doing it at home, but then turn it and then go back across this way, and you get a much more covered area that way. But make sure it's dry in between. You don't want to pull those layers. That's not too bad. But I would let that dry so you don't run it through your die cutter while it's still wet. Doesn't take long, but you definitely need to make sure it's dry. So I'll use the one I've already cut, or already done to cut. So I'm going to bring in the Happy Xmas, which is the Ransom. I'm going to pop that right down And there's my cutting plate. Give it a cut. Now you're cutting through card and you're cutting through the glitter kiss, so you want to just double check that it's cut all the way through. That looks good. Let's use a tool-in-one and see if we can pop out those pieces. Yeah, I think we've got it. Leave that there. And just pop your little die cut out. So you have a really, really sparkly one there. Isn't that pretty? Get that last little piece off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is separate these two. So I want to just cut very carefully here. Cut here. Go back through, take this one. Cut this. And I'm going to just cut on the top of the A to take my Y off there, and I'm going to do a little bit of tidying. Take those hard edges off there and between the H. There we go. So I've got two that I can use separately. So what I want to do is pop these on as a shadow. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray glue on the back. Get a hold of that. I'm going to shadow the same one done in black, so that'll really make that red glitter pop. And go ahead and do the Xmas part of it. Oh, that's so pretty with that red against that black. It is lovely. There we go. And I'm going to keep those for a second. I'll come back to that. I've done some of the flowers, and these are the lovely poinsettias. So I've done one of each of these sizes. And just to show you what I do two of them and just give it a little bit of forming around my finger. It just gives it more dimension, I think. Pop some glue right in the center here. Let that start to get set up. And I'll do this one. Just pop it around. Just form it around your finger a little bit, giving it a pinch. There we go. And now I just want to offset the petals to make a really nice full flower. That'll set up in just a second. We'll come back to that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these smaller ones that I've done earlier into place. And I'm going to use a glue dot. Just pop, oops, get that off my finger. Pop that down up in this upper corner. And put the smaller one next to that. So I'll have the two smaller flowers balanced up in one corner and the larger one in the opposite corner. About like that. There we go. I've gone ahead and done some of the holly out of white. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And you've got what I call a left and a right facing, so they just curve ever so slightly. I'm going to tuck those ends right under the flower. Have them curve up and around. And since I cut those off a tiny bit shorter, I'm going to use the little bits that I've cut away up on these smaller flowers. Just tuck them under there and there, so there's nothing wasted, which I love. There we go. And now go back to my Happy Xmas. I'm going to use a bit more of spray glue on the back. Hit all those areas. And tell you what, I'll spray both, spray both of them at the same time so they'll get nice and tacky. And I think I'm going to add a little more glue to these because we have that glitter kiss it's going to be attaching to. So we want something that's going to really hold it well. Tiny bit more onto this. And these little applicator bottles from Woodware are perfect. They have a beautiful tip for that. And I just want to offset this ever so slightly, like that. And like that. So that really, really shows up in the middle of your card. There we go. And I think that's a beautiful card. It's got the elegance as well as the steampunk feature to it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget our YouTube channel has a lot of videos for you to watch.